that one idea, one thought, and one concept can change an individual, a society, and a nation. If you agree with me, please type S on the chat box, please. If you agree with me, please type S on the chat box, please. Thank you, Padu. Thank you. Thank you, Kamlesh. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you, Ashwin. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rama. Thank you very much. Friends, how many of you also agree with me that when this concept is backed by a highly self-motivated group, then this plus particular concept can become a revolution? How many of you agree with me? How many of you agree with me that this idea can become a revolution if it is backed by a highly self-motivated and a group who are trained in communication? Thank you very much, Sarang. Thank you, Teju. Thank you, Anil. Thank you, Darshan. Friends, I welcome each one of you for this launch for NRI movement in Western India. And I acknowledge each one of you for being here, as today is the 151st birth anniversary of the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. And you all being present here tells me one thing about each one of you, that you are all lovers of your motherland and you are ready to contribute your might to further accelerate the transformation of this great land. How many of you agree with me? How many of you agree that you are ready to contribute? If you are ready to contribute, my request is please type on the chat box, ready to contribute. Please type on the chat box, ready to contribute. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you. Thank you, Padum. Thank you, Anil. Thank you very much. Friends, in the coming 1 hour, what we intend to share with you is this revolutionary concept of 6 principles of new revolution of India as advocated by our mentor Apuresh Acharya. Friends, you would be witnessing a sharing of 10 legendary Miltonians who have been in this movement for the last almost 20 years. And what we intend to do is to deepen your understanding and make each one of you learn this 6 dynamic new revolution of India concept, which has been proposed by our mentor way back in 1998. So that each one of you, when you walk out of this particular webinar, you will be able to appreciate, understand, and you will have an opportunity to imbibe in your life and thereby really transform your life. Okay? If you are ready to do that, I would just request you to just type on the chat box, I'm ready for transformation. I'm ready for transformation. Please type on the chat box, I'm ready for transformation. Because our intention is that the person who logged into this particular webinar at 7 p.m. and the person who logs out of this webinar at 8 p.m. should not be the same person. So I really want each one of you to be ready for the transformation. Thank you very much. Thank you, Darshan. Thank you, Ajit. I want you to be ready for the transformation from these 10 stalwart Miltonians. Friends, these Miltonians who are going to share with you are highly successful people who have accomplished so much in their life. Each one of them is a role model in their own profession, in their own society. So it is my honor and pleasure that I'll be introducing them and allowing them to share their thoughts about how they have inculcated these NRI principles in their life and how it has helped them to blossom themselves. And through their sharing, our intention is that you, every participant here, also gets the energy and the inspiration to further duplicate in your life. Okay? How many of you would really appreciate it? If you would appreciate it, just type, I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. Please type, I would appreciate to get inspired by this dynamic set of Miltonians who's going to share their experiences with this NRI principle. Thank you very much. Thank you, Padum. Thank you, Nrinda. Thank you, Sunil. Awesome. So before I bring on this set of 10 commandos, I just want to set a small context or a background as to how this NRI principle is relevant to each one of us. Okay? So do I have your permission to give you a background or a context as to the importance of NRI at the individual level, at the society level, at the national level? If you permit me, just give a small comment saying that granted. Bring it on. Just type BIO. Bring it on. Bring it on. Please type bring it on. Okay, awesome. Friends, it is a success principle which all of us have learned and many of us would appreciate, is that the success of an individual, society and a nation depends upon the self-concept or the self-image it holds. So before I bring on the commandos, I would like to just share and present to each one of you the remarkable legacy, history, and the heritage of this great motherland of ours. I just want to share with you, my friends, this great motherland of ours, India, was the #1 economy in the world from the 1st century to the 13th century. Until the late 18th century, you all would be surprised to know that India contributed to almost 1/3 of the world's economy. And we were called the Sone ki Chidiya, or the golden land. And this great land of ours, for so many centuries, was considered to be a leader in many industries. How many of you feel proud about it? How many of you feel proud that our motherland, in not too distant part, was called as the golden land? Golden land. How many of you really feel proud about it? If you feel proud about it, just type, I'm feeling proud about it. Please type on this chat box.
Arun, you're muted. Arun, you're muted.
Arun, please.
Yeah, I'm there. Okay.
Yeah, okay. We can hear.
My friends, as I was just sharing with you, for almost about 15th century, our motherland was the #1 economy, and these were the industries where we were the #1 in the industry of textiles, shipbuilding, iron and steel, spice trade. The entire world wanted to do business with us. It was said that in Western European women used to love our spice so much, they used to send shiploads of gold in order to get back shiploads of spice. That was the greatness of this great country of ours. And it's also a fact that we were the #1 again in education. There were universities like Nalanda University where the entire world wanted to come and study here. Sanskrit was evolved in this country. Even today, it is considered to be the most scientific language in the entire world. How many of you really feel that, okay, wow, these are some of the great things about our motherland, which we need to be proud about? Because this NRI concept comes from this basic background of context. Friends, even today and even then, we were the spiritual capital of the world. And we were the masters of inner engineering, and we gave the technology of meditation and yoga to the world. How many of you feel proud about it? How many of you really feel proud about all these facts, historical facts? I'm just showing it to you. If you are really feeling proud about it, say, I'm proud to be an Indian. I want each of you to type this on the chat box saying that I'm proud to be an Indian. I'm proud to be an Indian. Yes, absolutely. And these are all facts, which is what we want to bring out through this NRI movement. I'm proud to be Indian. I would like each of you 50 people who are sitting there to feel the sense of pride. Because whatever slides I've shown you are not figment of anybody's imagination. It is the truth of history. It is our heritage. It's our legacy. It's our history. Friends, from this great place, how come then we became a developing country or a poor country? The reason is not very far to know. We got subjugated to the Britishers. And the Britishers, in the 200 years that they ruled us, even though right now we have no acrimony to them because they came there for the self-serving reasons. But I really wanted to get present to this golden land of ours got deprivated to become a poor country because of the systematic and ruthless exploitation by the Britishers. The Britishers knew that if they wanted to rule us and dominate us, they had to destroy our education system. They had to destroy our culture. And more importantly, they had to destroy our self-esteem and self-respect, which they did very systematically. No qualms about it, but this is a truth. You will be quite surprised to know the entire World War I and the World War II, the money, the material, and then the entire machinery, manpower, which we contributed were immense. Even though the Britain won it, but we paid a very high price. And I just wanted to share with you this, that when Britishers left this country of ours in 1947, they left a country which was economically literally ruined. From 29 to 30% contribution to the global GDP, we came down to 2%. We were wrecked culturally, educationally. They destroyed our Gurukul system and they transplanted the education system which only produced clerks. And also, we were societally divided on the basis of religion, caste, creed, color, and geography. Friends, why I'm sharing this context to you is, we need to remember, we were the most intelligent community. We were the golden land of the world. Okay? And that's the reason why, at the time of independence, my friends, that was the situation. And even though in the last 74 years, we have achieved a lot of prosperity and progress, but because of some short-sighted policy and not so great leadership, even today, in spite of this land being endowed with so much of natural resources, so much of natural blessings, such an advantage in terms of demographic dividend, 60% of Indians are below 35 years old. In spite of that, because of, I would say, not great policies, bad execution, poor leadership, we are still struggling as a nation, as a country, to come up in terms of raising our GDP level and coming out of the confines of poverty and dependence. Okay, friends, it is this which motivated our mentor, Apuresh Acharya, who is considered to be a legendary trainer, behavioral science, to come out with the 6 new revolution of India principles way back in 1998. He thought that in order to accelerate the growth, the momentum of the progress of his motherland, of which he was very patriotic about, he thought about this 6 new revolution of India concepts. And he wanted the Miltonians whom he trained and the society in general to adopt it, absorb it, because he felt that the first change which has to happen is at the individual level, because when the individuals get transformed, the society gets transformed. When the society gets transformed, the nation gets transformed. And when the nation gets transformed, my friends, the world gets transformed. And he was very clear that if this 1 billion people get transformed, the world automatically will be transformed. And that's where he came out with the 6 new revolution of India principles, which were absolutely path-breaking. So can I request all of you to just type and acknowledge our mentor for this brilliant thinking. So can we just type on the chat box, thank you, Apuresh sir, or thank you, Apuresh. Thank you, Apuresh Acharya. I want all of you to acknowledge him today for giving us this very fabulous principle which can transform individuals, state, as well as the country. Yeah, let us acknowledge our guru. Let us acknowledge our mentor, because on this auspicious day when we are recognizing the father of the nation, we also had to recognize our mentor who thought of this six path-breaking revolutionary thing. The six principles he talked about, my friends, were effectiveness. He talked about effectiveness, self-improvement, respect, contribution, constructiveness, and love. Friends, what he said was, he said, this is everybody, I would request everybody to just do this action with me. Everybody do this action with me. First one is effectiveness, self-improvement, respect, contribution, constructiveness, and this is your love. And today we will be learning the essence and the understanding of all these principles. Remember, effectiveness is regarding your professional life. Self-improvement is about your personal life. Respect is about your interpersonal life. Contribution is towards your society. Constructiveness is towards the world. And love is a universal, divine, powerful energy, which keeps all these fives together. So friends, this is the powerful principle which was advocated by our mentor Apuresh, and he felt if an individual absorbs it, imbibes it, and started using it, he will be able to have a holistic development and thereby ensure that we as a nation, as a society, as a community would be able to achieve phenomenal success and thereby rebuild our motherland as the Soneki Chidi of the world, or as the golden land. Okay, how many of you would love that our motherland again becomes the golden land? Okay, so I would like you to just type on this chat box, I'm committed to making my country the golden land. Please type on the chat box, I'm committed to make my country the golden land. Please type on the chat box, please. Please type on the chat box that I'm committed to make my country the golden land. Absolutely. Friends, this is the context behind it, why this NRI principle and this particular program is being organized. Now I'm going to invite one of the first legendary Miltonians to come over and share some of the essence of these six principles, so that each one of you who's attending here would be able to appreciate those principles and start incorporating them in your life. Okay, so are you all ready? Are you all ready to welcome this legendary Miltonian? Okay, if you are ready, just type I'm ready. I'm ready to welcome this legendary Miltonian. When the person who's going to come over here, I know him for the last almost 20 years, is a person who is literally living those six principles which we are talking about, is today considered to be an authority on international taxation. He is a person who's involved in most of the MILT activity and is always in the forefront to take responsibility. Even though he comes from a very humble background, today he is recognized nationally and internationally as a renowned author, motivational speaker, a spiritual teacher. Friends, I would request all of you to join me together in welcoming Miltonian Mayur Nayak for giving us the essence and understanding of the Six Nri Principles. Let's give a big round of applause.
Mayur, come on, Mayur. Well done.
Thank you very much. May I request for the share screen option, please?
Yeah, you have it, Mayur. You can start the share screen.
Yeah, wait a minute, huh? Okay. Good evening to all of you.
Good evening, Mayur.
At the outset,
Good evening.
good evening. At the outset, let me thank Mumbai MILT Chapter President Uday and dear friend Arun for this wonderful opportunity. We are on a very auspicious day today, launching this or relaunching rather NRI movement in Mumbai, and that is on the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi and Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. So let us talk about or discuss or learn about the 6 principles about which Arun just now made a reference, and rightly so. And through these 6 principles, let us see how we can maximize our own life. So first of all, happy Gandhi Jayanti to all of you. And what Gandhiji said, be the change you want to see in the world. And that's what we are going to learn today, how to become the change that we want. We also remember our late Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri ji on his birth anniversary. देश के प्रति निष्ठा सभी निष्ठाओं से पहले आती है, और उसी संदर्भ में आज हमारा ये दायित्व है कि हम अपने देश के प्रति निष्ठा करें, अपने देश को आगे बढ़ाने की जो बात की है, अरुण ने जो बात की है, उदय ने जो बात की है, उसके लिए हम एक हमारा जो कमिटमेंट होना चाहिए, उसके लिए हम लोग आज एक प्रण लेंगे. तो आइए बात करते हैं. लेट्स गो further. As Arun rightly mentioned about the 5 different dimensions of our personality, that is, 4 dimensions are intellectual, spiritual, emotional, physical, and there is one more dimension is about the social, that is contribution. It is said that average human being uses less than 10% of the total potential during the entire lifetime, and that shows how underutilized we are as far as our potential is concerned. Our mentor Aparash always says that to born as a mediocre is not an issue, but to die as a mediocre is a crime. Each one of us has a potential to grow. Each one has a potential to ignite that fire within and tap our potential, maximize our potential for not only our growth, but for the growth of the entire world and the universe. And therefore, the mission statement that we have in MILT is let this world be little better because I came here. Let this world be little better because I came here. And that betterment of the world can be done only when we grow in all our dimensions of our personality. So let's begin with the 6 NRI principles. As Arun mentioned, effectiveness, self-improvement, respect, contribution, constructiveness, and love. The short form is ASR COCO law. That's how we remember these 6 principles. Let's begin with the effectiveness. What is effectiveness? As Arun rightly mentioned, it is more about our professional life. But then, effectiveness is about achieving what we desire. Everybody has a right to dream. And as Dhirubhai Ambani used to say, our dreams have to be bigger. Our dreams have to be bigger, our commitment deeper, our efforts greater, and our aspiration higher. And that is the dream of my India. Unless we dream, we can't put that dream into action. But unless we put that dream into action, we can't achieve our dream. But in order to have that effective implementation, what we need is 3 things: control, confidence, and discipline. Controlling all our actions, that we do all our actions unidirectionally in the direction of achieving our dream. And second is confidence of achieving it. And third is maintaining discipline. And that is what effectiveness is all about. Setting out to do something and effectively doing it. We have ample examples in our world. We have this APJ Abdul Kalam, our past president of India. From humble background, he was known as a missile man. And then he went on to occupy the highest position in our country. Nra Event, the CEO of the Pepsi. Then we have Infosys chairman. We have Satya Nadella, Microsoft. And we have, of course, Dhirubhai Ambani, who said, only when you dream it, you can do it. So all these people had a dream. And those dreams today are reality. Mr. Murthy dreamt of an Infosys, a large conglomerate, and today that is a reality. Dhirubhai Ambani dreamt of a big empire, and today that Reliance is a reality. So greatest dreams of the world stay as dreams if there is no effectiveness. All these great people who achieved their life is only 24 hours. We too have 24 hours, but they are effectively using those 24 hours, and that's what we need to learn from them. So effectiveness is a path to excellence. That takes us to the second and most important part of the 6 NRI principles, and that is self-improvement. Any improvement in the world which starts with the self. Okay. And how do we measure our improvement, self-improvement? We should constantly talk to ourselves that my today is better than yesterday. My best is yet to come. Each one of us should have a constructive discontentment. It means I'm happy about what I have achieved so far, but I've yet to achieve more and more in my life. Mind you, friends, the way we talk to ourselves is more important than the way we talk to others. And that is where the maximum problem arises. Many people have a very low self-esteem about themselves. And therefore, they underperform or they are not able to achieve their dreams. Self-improvement is improvement in every aspect of our personality. A small improvement, a slightest improvement is also a self-improvement. So a better vision or better version of yourself. As Arun said, that after 1 hour of this exposition, you should be a transformed person. And that comes only when we have that realization that yes, I can also improve. I need to have my self-improvement. And that is what the need of the hour. If individual is strong, the society will be strong. If the society is strong, the nation will be strong. And if the nation is strong, this world will be a better place to live in. In Sanskrit, in our scriptures, there is a word called Purushartha. Each one of us should constantly strive to improve ourselves in every dimensions of our personality through our Purushartha. So let's get over of our negative emotions, our laziness, and strive for the excellence. Everybody may not be born with that intelligence, but everybody can develop the persistence, hard work, and determination and achieve whatever they want in life. Third, and the most important, as Arun mentioned about the interpersonal relationship, respect. Respect is a cardinal principle of a civilized society. What it says, give respect, get respect. Whatever we give to the world outside, we get it in return. And that's why it is said, respect is treating each other as a human being with dignity of human being. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Would you like to be treated with disrespect? No. The same way we should treat others with the same dignity and respect that we expect from others. Respect involves 3 things. One is a tolerance. It means if somebody has a diagonally opposite view or does not agree with us, we should be able to tolerate that view. We should say, yes, I agree to disagree. I may not agree with your views. I may not like to relate with you, but I still respect you as a human being. Have a patience. Patience for what? Patience for that person to change. Patience for the things to improve. Okay. And humility. In fact, the more you grow in the stature, the more human or humble you should become. As it is said that a tree with more fruits, is actually have fruits. The more fruits you bear, okay, then the tree becomes the heavier. So that's how we should have a humility in our life. And 3 beautiful principles, big principles, if we inculcate in our life, that is A for accept the person as it is. accept first yourself as you are, and then accept the world as it is. The second is adjust to the likes and dislikes of other person. And third is appreciate small improvement and appreciate every improvement, and that will get respect and bring respect in your life. The next is constructiveness. To be constructive means to be creative, to be positive, to be active, positively active. Constructive action means action, building, making things happen, but always in a positive sense. Being constructive means having positive expectations, not of what may happen to us, but what we can do. How best I can improve the situation. That should be always back of our mind. Here is an example of a mountain man, Dashrath Banji, who was a landless laborer. He decided to cut through a mountain so that people from his village could reach the doctor faster. It so happened that his wife fell off from the mountain, a small hillock, and then he could not be rushed to the doctor because it was almost 55 kilometers away. And this person single-handedly, he cut through a way through the mountain with only hammer and chisel, and it took 22 years of persistence and hard work. And then he was recognized for his work. So this is the constructive, work which is done by this Manji. There are plenty of people who are working constructively day in and day out, and in many aspects of our society. So we have to be constructive in whatever we do. Having improved ourselves, having having effective in our work, being constructive and have respect, the next that we are ready now to contribute to the society. As it is said that Mano Seva is Madhav Seva, means to help others is the goal of life. Contribution, Buddha said very beautifully, I have what I gave and I lost what I have. I have what I gave and I lost what I have. Meaning, whatever I've accumulated in my life so far, okay, that will not come with me, and therefore that is lost. But what I gave to somebody, those good deeds, those blessings will come with me when I leave this world. And therefore, whatever you do for others, the kind of satisfaction that gives, that is unparalleled. Contribution is the way of life. And therefore Mahatma Gandhi said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in services of others. That is the best thing which can happen to anybody. The Snehalaya movement we have in the MILT is a best example of contribution. The mentor operator always says, it is not for those children whom we are helping. It is for ourselves, to purify ourselves, to purify our ego, that we need to contribute more and more to the people. And we wouldn't find any better place than our country for contributing in the lives of others. That takes us to the last principle, and that is love. Love is the supreme divine energy with which we relate to the entire world. It is said that God created man out of his own image. And therefore, the human beings are supposed to be a personification of his love. So his love to the mankind is in the form of human being. The more one loves, the nearer he approaches to God, for God is love, and God is rest is love. Therefore, we must experience this positive energy. We must fill ourselves with the love. Love everything, love for the sake of love. Love every human being, every species on the world. And remember, love is a noun and not a verb. So if we relate everything with that love energy, we become powerful. And as Dalai Lama said, love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without that, humanity cannot survive. This beautiful saying, the moment we recognize ourselves as one with that infinite love, we become filled with it, that we see only good in all. It is like, wearing a glass with the love, and we can see everybody in that beautiful energy, and we won't have any hatred towards anybody. So with this love energy, we can implement those 5 principles, and we become a better human being. We are ready to change the world. We are ready to contribute to the world and the nation. So become a history maker by inculcating these 6 wonderful principles in your person. There are 2 kinds of people. One is history writer and the others are history makers. Or, we should be in the second category, history maker rather than history writer. Maximize yourself and unleash your total potential. Believe me, each one of us has tremendous potential within, and each one of us has a right, not only right, a duty to maximize ourselves. And therefore, that will be a great tribute to our creator. So, my friends, become a new revolutionary of India. Let these 6 principles ingrained on your heart, ingrained in your person, and make you a successful person. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayur. Thank you very much. Thank you for your giving us the real essence and the understanding of these lovely 6 principles. I think you have really taken us into the deep diving into it. And I'm sure each one of us have got a better understanding of these 6 principles, the potency of it for us to take it to the next level. Thank you very much, Mayur. Now, moving on to the 6 commandos who will come and share their experiences and their viewpoints on each one of them. The first one I'll call upon to give is insights into one of the most important professionally skill-oriented principle of effectiveness. It's my honor and pleasure to call this person who is B Industrial and Production Engineer from Bangalore University, and he has done his diploma in PG DBA. And I know this person for almost about 15 years. He's always constantly improving. He started as an executive, and today he works as a director of product development of Southeast Asia. But as I told you, each of the person who's going to come here are people who are achievers, who are actually living these principles. With this, it's my honor and pleasure to call upon Miltonian Sukesh Sheth. Over to you, Sukesh.
Sukesh, you're on mute. Sukesh, you're on mute.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening.
Vision minus action is only an imagination. Do you all agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Action minus vision could only be a confusion. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Yes.
But action plus vision can effectively lead us to transformation. Is it not so?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Without effectiveness, they are only dreams. Effectiveness means setting out to do something and doing it purposefully. Effectiveness is a skill that we can build upon ourselves through control, confidence, and discipline. Confidence in our own self. Confidence in ourselves, control with our actions, and uncompromising discipline in patience, perseverance, and concentration. Once you have vision, it can be translated into action with effectiveness using 4 P's. They are planning, practice, patience, and perseverance. Effectiveness starts with small things that are directly under our control. Effectiveness can be mastered by knowing how to use our time selectively and identifying what valuable contribution are we doing to the mission that we are on. Take the example of Dr. Verghese Kurian, father of the White Revolution in India. His vision was to transform India's rural people through a novel model of dairy model. He came up with a 1 billion liter idea, Operation Flood. His effectiveness in terms of making dairy farming made India the largest self-sustaining industry. It made India the largest rural employment sector, And it also made India the world largest milk producer and increased the milk production fourfold in just 30 years. All this was possible due to effectiveness in a very meticulous way. So effectiveness is an art won by habituation. Think, the way we do anything is the way we do everything. What we are is what we repeatedly do. Effectiveness is not merely an act, but an habit. If we inculcate the habit of effectiveness at our individual level, it will bring into synergy. Thus, every individual in a society leveraging on effectiveness can make our nation a nation of effective people and then take our India to new standards. Thank you.
Thank you, Sukesh. Awesome. I think you really gave us an insight into what we talked about effectiveness. Friends, the next Miltonian whom I want to call upon again is a big achiever. This again is a person who believes in the concept of continuous and never-ending improvement. And he's a personification of that. And he's the managing director of a Europower inverter. And he has been a Miltonian for, again, almost a decade or so. So with great pleasure, I call upon Miltonian Ajit Chaudhary to give his insight on the next NRI principle called self-improvement. Over to you, Miltonian Ajit Chaudhary. You can you can put on the camera and I'll pin you on. Over to you, Ajit.
Yeah. We human beings are the product of the pride of Supreme Creator. Am I right?
Yes.
Continuous self-improvement should be top priority in your life. Do you all agree with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Self-improvement is a sure short way to maximize our God-gifted human potential. Isn't it true, friends?
Yes.
Friends, I was shy, timid, and absolutely fearful person in initial way of my life. As an entrepreneur, I received a lot of invitation from my school, colleges, various industrial forums. I avoided because I was a victim of speaking in English and public speaking. Friends, it was my biggest weakness in my life. One day I decided to come out of this weakness. I said to myself, I will do anything that is possible, everything that is possible to come out of this weakness. In 2010, I got opportunity to attend 3 days pay program with Operation Acharya. He transformed my life. His 3 powerful principles absolutely transformed my life. First principle is make your today better than yesterday. Make your tomorrow better than today. Second principle, expect best, do very best, and you will always get the best. Tell world, my best is yet to come. And third and powerful principle it is, you can have anything in this world you want, but require very badly. I started working on myself very hard. Today, I give a lot of inspirational talk in MILT forum, in various organizations and various school and college to inspire that life, to give motivation, to give uniqueness in their life. Friends, if I can do in small way, just imagine all of us are endowed with a humongous God potential. Our population of this world is 1.33 billion. 65% of that population is absolutely young blood. If one step towards self-improvement will make our country a powerful country. Friends, NRI movement is powerful movement. I can define this movement as NRI movement is a self-improvement movement. It's a long, lonely process of continuously expiring your current self, thinking beyond possibilities, living life with truth, purity, and unselfishness, making your today better than yesterday, making your tomorrow better than today, living life of true Miltonian, life of true leader, life that will be difficult to duplicate, thus maximizing ourselves and maximizing our great country, India. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Awesome, Ajit, for your lovely energy and really exposing this concept of self-improvement. Friends, now we move on to the next one. Again, I call upon another very, very dynamic Miltonian. She's a commerce graduate from Calicut University and a very active Sevika of Chinmayananda Mission. It's my honor and pleasure to call upon Miltonian Sonia for giving us her insight into the next
For me,
NRA
it is
principle
different.
called respect. Over to
Now
you.
they are now
Miltonian.
trying to make these NRA principles
Thank
to
you,
be spread
Arun.
across the country.
Good evening, all. Yeah, my topic is respect. I'm going to speak on respect. Respect is the protection of basic human rights of every individual. Don't you all agree?
Yes.
Knowledge will give you power, but the character will earn you respect. Isn't that so?
Yes.
Yes.
Respect begets respect, isn't it?
Yes.
Respect is not just merely bowing down at the feet of God, elders, parents, or teachers. Respect is nothing but treating others as you wish to be treated by yourself, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, and gender. India is basically known for their cultures and values. Yet, lack of respect is the main cause of all basic social crimes. Especially, the women are not respected, but instead exploited. Females constitute 48% of Indian population. Imagine what would be the fate of rest 52% of males if the women of India is not given due respect. Take the case of women in Haryana who was gang raped and not accepted by the society. Hats off to a man named Jitendra, in spite of continuous death threats, married that girl. And since last 5 years, couple is fighting for justice. I salute this couple for their mutual bond and respect for each other. In any relationship, respect is absolutely essential for the relationship to work. At a certain point of time in my life too, due to lack of respect, I was totally depressed and was on the verge of committing suicide. But thanks to my spouse Sukesh for supporting and giving me all the respect. Today I am here with a purpose in my life to empower people, especially empowering youth with the fragrance of respect, which if it springs from your heart, will make a huge impact on everyone. Earning respect is first by giving it and gain it by empowering others. Then we shall be the citizen of India with the highest respect. Mahatma Gandhi has also said, I cannot conceive of a greater loss of one's self-respect. So it is all about our mindset and human values. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, Sonia. It was awesome. Awesome. Friends, how many of you participants really enjoyed it? How many of you are learning something new? If you're learning something new and you're enjoying, please type on the chat box, learning something new and enjoying, learning and enjoying. Please type this on the chat box, please. I want all of you to type it on the chat box, learning something new and enjoying it. Thank you very much. Yeah, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, Padum. Thank you, Ajit. Thank you, Prakash. Thank you. Thank you, Kishore. Awesome. I love the engagement and the energy which the speakers are bringing in. Well, next speaker is again another dynamo. He's one of the legendary Miltonians who has really made a lot of mark in the society and in his professional career. He's a person who was working for 17 years in #1 company in India, Reliance India. And he's today retired, but also still contributing so much for the well-being of the society. With this, I call upon yet another legendary Miltonian, Shrikant Kanitkar, to share about the next NRI principle called contribution. Over to you, Miltonian Shrikant.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening.
We are all Indians, isn't it?
Yes.
What is that?
Yes.
Yes.
We are all Indians, isn't it?
Yes.
We all love our India, isn't it?
Yes.
Cleanliness, they say, is godliness. Isn't that right?
Yes.
We all agree. But look around. What is happening in the marketplace? Almost every street, there is a heap of garbage. around, infested with rats, stinking very badly. And what do? We just close our nose and pass by as quickly as possible. They say that in one family of 4, we make 1 kilo of wet garbage every single day. Every single day. 1 kilo of wet garbage we make every single day. And whenever such a garbage is lying there, we always give bad words to municipal corporation and government and all that. Are governments doing that? Is municipal corporation doing that? No, my friend. It is all we. We are the people who make the garbage. Municipal corporation people are called Safai Kamgar. They clean the garbage. And that we have 50 crore families in India. If every family makes 1 kilo of garbage, 50 crore kilos, that is 5 lakh tons, comes every day on the streets. It is not going to be very long before India is going to be lined with garbage if this goes on. And that is the very reason why our Prime Minister inaugurated the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in his very first speech. Government is doing their bit. It is now for us to do our bit. It is for us to do the contribution from ourselves. I have been using one bacterial culture made by BARC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center, for the last 5 years. And in those 5 years, not even 1 teaspoonful of wet garbage has gone out. This culture makes the wet garbage into very useful manure within just 3 to 5 days. I have given this culture to almost 2,000 people in India. That means 2,000 kilos, 2 tons of garbage is not coming on the streets every single day only because of the effort, only because of the contribution of one person. I am not asking all you friends to do what I do, but at least we can look after our homes, we can look after our family, we can look after our 1 kilo. And if we really do that, then only we really can say, I love my India, which is clean and green. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shrikant. Thank you very much for that awesome message, where each one of us can help in transforming this nation. The next I call upon yet another dynamic leader of people who has built a very successful business and whose aspiration is to help the farmers community in order to become more productive and more profitable. With great pleasure, I call upon the next Miltonian Janak Parekh, to share his thoughts and insights on the next NRI principle called as constructiveness. Over to you, Miltonian Janak Parekh.
Thank you, Arun. Good evening, all.
Good evening.
We all want to be healthy and happy. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Eating a good food is basically necessary for good health. Am I right?
Yes.
Many a times our food is contaminated. Isn't it so?
Yes.
Yes, dear friend. Look around us. What are we eating? Are we eating organic food, or are we eating food made by and produced by using chemicals, fertilizers, and pesticides, and resulting in people facing and having a critical disease like cancers throughout their life? On the other side, are we eating a local food produced locally, or are we eating a food that has been traveled for hundreds and thousands of kilometers for days, infected with preservatives and coated with wax to look fresh and shining? Can we say we are constructive here towards our health and health of our family and especially children? So what is constructive? Constructive is nothing but making it happen positively. Do it yourself. So the question is, how can I be constructive myself? So dear friends, what I'm doing in my small own way to be constructive is, we have in our family decided to buy only organic food, and that food which is being produced without using chemicals and fertilizers. For this, with little effort, I could find a vendor who is giving organic food. And of course, there are many farmers who are growing organic foods and selling online. To strengthen my constructiveness, what I have done is I am almost about to buy a farmland and going to grow organic food myself. Yes, dear friend, by doing this, I have inspired many friends and relatives who are now shifted to buy only organic food. Healthy food means healthy people and thereby healthy nation. So dear friend, let be constructive, only eat organic food and remain healthy and thereby making a great nation, India, healthy and progressive and a superpower. Thank you so much.
Awesome, awesome, Janak. Very good message. What you eat is what you are. So if you have a healthy food, you have a healthy nation. Awesome. The next I call upon yet another dynamic person who has been a trainer, who has been an inspiration for many of us in the MILT community. She is the director of Zephyr's Toy Makers Private Limited, one of the leading toy makers of India. She is an accredited MILT trainer and she's a psychoanalyst and counselor. Friends, it is my great pleasure to invite on the stage to talk about the most important NRI principle, love, Miltonian Samina Gabajiwala. Over to you, Miltonian Samina.
Thank you, Arun. Now, friends, we have heard the 5 beautiful principles of the NRI movement, isn't it?
Yes.
And to put them into practice, we need to have a very powerful energy. Don't you think so?
Yes.
And love is God's most powerful energy, isn't it?
Yes.
And today happens to be the birthday of that man who loved this country and his fellow men so much. Friends, God created this entire universe so beautiful. And he did it all for us. He gave us the power to enjoy our life to the fullest. We have the power to enjoy the singing of the birds, the dance of the peacock, the fruits and flowers of the plants and trees. We have the power of choice. We have the power to make decisions. And we have the power to create much more than what we can consume. And all this because he loves us so. Friends, we are those lucky few people who, in spite of all these problems that are going on, we live in comfortable homes, we are eating good food, and we are relating with our friends and families across the globe. Isn't it?
Yes.
We are living very comfortably.
Very true.
But look around us. There is so much pain. There's so many problems. In spite of that, there's so much hatred being created, hatred being instigated, pitching one set of people another. I'm sure you've seen the movie, The Social Dilemma. In that, all those people who gave us these wonderful platforms with all their algorithms, today they must be terrified of the way it is being abused. All because we trust what we hear and what we see much more than our core values. Friends, let us not forget that we are all created equal in the eyes of God. If we recognize his presence in each other, then we recognize him as the one we love the most. God loves all his children equally. We must remember his presence in each other and love each other the way we love him. Am I clear? We have to rebuild, bring back that love in us. Let us not give in to that single iota of poison, the hatred which destroys our humanity. Friends, with these 5 principles, and this love energy, we can create a better country, a better world for all of us to live in. Don't forget, the love inside you. You were born out of love, and all you have to do is love. Thank you.
Awesome, Sabina. It was an awesome
Wow.
explanation of all the 6 principles. Brilliant. Friends, now I call upon the person who is the leader, who presides over our MILT community in Western India, especially Mumbai, and is a dynamo who actually lives all the 6 principles. He's an entrepreneur, a founder of Unique Racks that manufactures of industrial storage system. Is an engineer by qualification. He is married to yet another Miltonian, Sucharita, and blessed with 2 lovely daughters. And his hobby is to run triathlon, and his achievement is to have the Ironman title. With great pleasure, I call upon our president of the Mumbai MILT chapter to give the presiding address of this NRI event. I call upon Miltonian Uday Karelia. Over to you, Uday.
Thank you. Thank you, Arun. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Hi, good evening, friends. It's my pleasure to address to you on this historic moment. Friends, we have heard so far about what is NRI movement and what are the 6 principles. So I am not going to go in the depth of what is 6 principles of NRI. But yes, I'm going to be talking on why this NRI movement and why this particular 6 principles. As Arunagiri had mentioned in his opening remark, that these 6 principles are the brainchild of our mentor Aparesh Acharya, who had been a legendary trainer and who is also regarded as authority in the field of behavioral science. So these principles comes from the premises of behavioral science. And Aparesh has put in a lot of effort and a lot of thinking behind these scientific principles. Let us see what is the significance and why these principles are. Why effectiveness? Friends, many years ago, India was a land of gold. Sone ki chidiya, as my dear friend Arunagiri never ceases to, talk about India as a Sone ki chidiya. And over the years, our position has deteriorated and degraded to the place where we are today. Today we are considered as a 3rd world country. Now what is the difference? Why it is? What is the difference then and what is the difference now? Friends, it's a difference of culture. Our ancestor then believed in a Samkhya philosophy which said that with any action that is fired with 3 things. 1 is a right and lofty purpose. 2nd is a right vision. And 3rd is a 0 defect execution of the action. And with these 3, anything under the sun can be achieved. And our ancestor believed that our destiny, their destiny was in their hand. And they can create the destiny the way they want. But unfortunately, over the years, people from outside had ruled us, and people from outside had conditioned us, and they have removed our confidence in our belief. They introduced the religion or the politics and made us dependable and made us a generation of fatalists. And we lost that confidence that to create our destiny was lying in our hand, and we became dependent. And that is the reason today we need effectiveness. Because effectiveness is purpose, vision, and action. That's why it is required today. Effectiveness is a roadmap towards the revolution that we are talking about. Why self-improvement? Self-improvement is all about discovering which is lying dormant within us. That is called self-improvement. And as Mayur had rightly said, that behavioral scientists have found out that 90% of the people, they go to the grave or the crematorium utilizing only 5 to 10% of their human potential. And that is the reason we have unlimited, unexplored field lies within us to explore. That's why self-improvement is a continuous process. In MILT, self-improvement means, as Mayur said, our today has to be yesterday plus. And if our today is yesterday plus, then definitely we are on the path of self-improvement. Self-improvement gives us the competence to execute the plan in a zero defect manner. See how they are interrelated. Zero defect manner plan, so self-improvement is required. They are interrelated. Why there is respect? Why respect? Why we need respect? Respect in a simple language, my dear friend, is an acceptance. And disrespect is rejection. In order to accept people, we have to first accept ourselves as we are, with our weakness, with our flaws, and with our strength. Only then we can accept other people with their weakness, with their flaws, and with their strength. Again, my dear friend, these weakness and these flaws are not going to be permanent because we are on the path of self-improvement. So this is weakness and all that is going to go away. And respect is a fundamental for team building. And if we are talking about bringing revolution to this country, we require team. We cannot do it in isolation. And it is respect that can bring this team together. Now, friends, we have got the roadmap, we have got the competence, and we have got the team. Now we have two choices, either to construct or to destruct. That's where the purpose comes into the role. If you have a higher purpose or the noble purpose, we will construct. That is the reason we talk about constructiveness. Only a selfish purpose talk about destructions, like terrorists, or for example, the country like China, for their own selfish purpose, they want to destroy their neighbors. That's not our principle. Now, why contribution? Again, very interestingly, my dear friend, it is connected with self-improvement. I'll tell you how. Because when you explore yourself and discover your inner potential, you will realize that we are blessed with tremendous, enormous producing capacity than the consuming capacity. We are the only species blessed with that. No other species blessed with that. All other species output is equal to input. For example, how many chapatis a day we can eat? Maybe 10 or 20, but look at the enormous potential we have. We can produce 2 lakh chapatis a day. That clearly shows that we are meant to contribute. Also, my dear friend, contribution is a key to your happiness. If you refer to the Maslow's theory of hierarchy, you will find that money, success, name, and fame does not give you permanent happiness. It is only when you reach the top level of self-actualization, you get permanent happiness. And what is self-actualization, my dear friend? It is nothing but bringing out our entire potential out and work for the larger benefit of this world. That is called self-actualization, and that is called contribution, my dear friends. And last but not the least, love. As my dear friend Samina has beautifully put it, that love is that power and is that fuel that enlivens the previous 5 virtues. Love, my dear friend, is like electricity. You may have a zero defect, highly, technical gadget, but you cannot make it run without electricity. You have to charge it. You have to charge it to get the maximum benefit out of it. So love is that creative energy that enlivens these 5 principles. My dear friends, we have seen these 6 principles are beautifully interconnected and interrelated, and it can scientifically bring out the revolution that we are talking about. I urge each one present here to spread this awareness, to spread this principle in your circle, in your professional circle, in your social circle, or in your relations. As a president of Mumbai chapter, I assure you that I am going to give you full support. Remember, together we can bring a change. Thank you very much. I love you all and all the best.
Thank you, Uday. That was an awesome presentation.
Wow, super
I think
talk.
you beautifully,
Great talk.
summarized everything. And friends, before I bring in the last speaker, again, one of the best speakers that you would ever listen to, as Uday rightly said, the objective behind NRI movement is not only the talk. We want to translate this and we want to implant this into the society. And we are looking, especially the Mumbai chapter, to work on the youth in the schools and the colleges, where we want to start NRI cells so that each and every youth comes to understand these 6 principles, which we said: effectiveness, self-improvement, respect, contribution, constructiveness, and love. So we want to implant it, and immediately after the COVID-19 lockdown is removed, we are going to do this. And we also want to focus on how we can get involving NRI into sports activities also, how to get sports into the underprivileged people. These are some of the areas where we intend to focus on and ensure that this NRI principle is taken forward. I would request each one of you, whoever is attending here, whenever you find any such avenues available where we can share this and implant this, please let us know. We'll be there to support with you and thereby transform this nation. Friends, let me now call upon the last speaker of the day, again a legendary Miltonian who is a very accomplished and recognized doctor, and also a passionate trainer and a spiritual master, and one who's always there to support, guide, mentor many of the Miltonians around. With great pleasure, I call upon Miltonian of the real person who really has taken it to the next level of effectiveness, contribution, constructiveness, Dr. Ashok Kaute, to come over and summarize the whole thing and also give us the ending tips to all of us. Miltonian Ashok Kaute.
So unmute.
Unmute, sir.
Ashok, unmute.
Ashok?
Unmute, sir, Ashok.
Yeah. I'll just pin you up.
Right.